Dopamine. I taught my kids that and my students that a while ago. It is relevant to this book, Do Not Disturb, How to Say No to Your Phone by The Unplugged Psychologist, Brad Marshall with Lindsay Hassock. And you say to yourself, this sounds educational. I'm already changing the channel. Blink! But here's the thing about this book. It is bite-sized nuggets that kids can do. And kids may not really want to do it because it takes away some of that dopamine. You say to yourself, well, you know what? I like using my phone because it releases those chunks of things I can't smell into my brain that make me happy. That dopamine, that's what it does. This says, okay, if you like that, what are the triggers that makes this dopamine happen? What other things could you do that are not exactly screen relevant or smartphone relevant that you could do? What are some habits that you could do not to do it? It's 10 steps, and it makes it really sound like an addiction, because it is. And I hate using that phrase. Even in the post, I said it feels like an addiction, and that's something that maybe psychologists wouldn't use. But Brad Marshall was like, no, it can be an addiction for some kids. And I see this. I see this in kids that I know. I see it in kids that I teach, where some kids, they can handle the cell phone, and some kids can't. And it's not a pro or a con of how strong they are as a human being. It's just that some people are more susceptible to the addictive aspects of it. The likes, the clicks, the tactile elements that you touch. But it's frustrating. Can I get a witness, parents, if you're just tired of these cell phones and you're like, just cut it out because it's more problems than what it's worth? But then you're like, oh, but how will they socialize? What will they do? I hear these problems. As a teacher, I hear them too. And that's where this book really does a good job. 10 steps. It's approachable for kids. You say to yourself, kids will never read this. They don't have to read it. Parents, you can read this and then slowly inject some of those points into your lifestyle, into the way you do things, into maybe the habit. Say, hey, you want to use your phone? That's great. Do something else for 10 minutes, then you get 10 minutes of cell phone time. You can take some of the tips that are in Do Not Disturb, take some of the tips, and just start to push them that direction and say, well, if you really want to use your phone right now and you're kind of freaking out because you can't or because your battery is below 20%, what's making you feel that way? And it kind of helps you become a dime store psychologist, for lack of a better term, in case you want to try and solve it yourself, where you go to counseling and see if somebody else can solve that rabbit hole. No shame in that, because we're doing that too. We're trying. We're a parent and we're human too, but I see this also as a teacher, where some kids, and parents, this is kind of your fault too, where they got to put their phones up on the wall, but you really got to twist their arms to do it, or they're kind of sneaky and they say, well, I'm going to put my burner phone up on the wall while I keep my phone in my pocket or in my backpack because I don't want to be too far away from it, even if I'm not going to be able to use it during class. It's a tough thing, man. In Australia, just put the social media ban into place. It's interesting. It's a brave new world, isn't it? Wild, wild west, as it were. But this is a book that's going to be great for middle school parents, middle school, upper middle school kids, high school kids, because it's got some real ways for you to wean yourself off of the cell phone. And it's got a great story in there. One story in particular, I remember the psychologist, Brad Marshall, was talking to a student who had a really bad video game addiction. I mean, really bad, where this kid would wake up at night just to play video games. So that means during the daytime, he was a complete mess. Just played video games his entire high school career. Came time to graduate. He graduated, but barely. And after high school, he's kind of paying the piper for not paying attention because he didn't have the grades to go anywhere to college. And now that dude just has an hourly dead-end job with no path to success. And he's kind of kicking himself in the pants. There are stories like that in this book. Look at me, Debbie Downer. Do Not Disturb. It is a book with a lesson and a point, but it's also very readable. And at the end of each chapter, at the end of each of the 10 chapters, there is like a little takeaway, a call to action, things you can do, questions you can ask yourself. What kind of personality are you that you have to feel like you have to engage with your phone that much? It's pretty handy. You middle school parents, get this book. It'll be helpful. Hey, you kids, if you got a big brain and you think you've got a problem with your cell phone, check it out. It will help you, and you'll be better in the long haul for it.